Good morning. I'm happy to see all of us that we are here this morning. I can see from our faces we are strong and we are happy. Is that true? Despite the challenge of this life, despite the hardship in this country, we are happy. We also appreciate our friends out there who joining us, those joining us online, even as we worship. God will also be with you. And we also have belief and faith that God is with you. He has also blessed. We want to learn the Word of God. We want to educate ourselves using the Word of God. What we are going to talk today is not something that as what we will see within our social environment. Now, what we are discussing is called parenting, consequences and benefits. Parenting, consequences and what? Benefits. That's what we are looking at. It's going to run for the 2 Sundays. I will be taking small introduction today, as much as God will carry us, give us the strength. Now, if I talk about parenting, consequences and benefits, therefore I am talking about generally reward of your parenting style. Every parenting style adopted by you have a reward. If you adopt the best method, you have a reward that will benefit you tomorrow. But if you adopt a method, you may have a reward that will punishment to you. That is considering and talking about it today. It becomes serious and as you're a parent, you must adopt a style to take care of this world, these children which God has blessed you with. And that is why I'm saying it's a command. It's not a choice. Brethren, are you hearing me? It's a command. It's not what? A choice. If you're a child of God, get it clear. If you have been parenting your own children, if you have been taking care of children with less fair attitude, I want you to understand that you have failed in your responsibility. You know, when the Bible says a man who failed to take care of his family was an infidel, someone may be thinking about only provision. Yeah, provision is part of it. Because when we go down, we are going to look at some aspect what parenting involves. Provision is part of it, but if you do not lead those children aright, Eli suffered it. Eli had a lot of consequences. He faced the consequences because of his parenting side. Samuel also lost the judges. The family lost it because of the parenting style adopted by who? Less fair attitude of parents. From the biblical concept, we see that it was a very big blow to men of God. These are men of God who were working with God. Eli was a man of God, a prophet of God, a man God used as a tool. But Eli failed woefully in this aspect of life because he looked in parenting, he was not grounded. are not seeing it as a responsibility, and we are not even training ourselves to adopt the best method to parent our children. Rather, what we want to do is let me pay a school fee. If I pay school fees my child, that is all. I want to tell you that is not all. I want to say, I start by saying that parenting is a command. It's a what? A command. It's not what? A choice. We centered our teaching in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. I want to get that we are centering it. Time will come where we will start analyzing that Proverbs 22, verse 6. The question is, the command is for who? If I say parenting is a command, the command is for who? For who? Now this is a question. The command is for you who have accepted to get married. As a man, you have married a woman, you will start training your wife first, being a parent to your wife. Are you aware? A wife, you also start being a parent to your husband. That two of you start training each other, parenting each other, to have a understanding, to have a foundation, what you want your family to become. I will talk about it when I'm talking about certain principles in the house. Which is a command is for you, sister who want to get married tomorrow. A command is for you, brother who is married, who have children for now. It's a command, which you must take it at the back of your mind, that I must learn the best method to take care of my child. Some will say, hey, my husband is not paying attention. Because of that, your husband has failed in his own responsibility. You want to fail in your own responsibility as well. It's possible for one to be a single parent and also bring out a child in the world to be sound and morally okay. But however, we don't pray for single parenting among us. But when it happens, you must not fail in your also what? Responsibility. That's it. This command is from who? It's from who? God. It's from God. Parenting involves, like what we're talking about training. You know, we say training. We are looking at the aspect which this training involves. Parenting involves caring for the child. Involve caring for the child. Caring for the child. You know, most times people care only when you think you buy clothes, food is part of it. Pay attention to the child's emotions. You must pay attention to the child's emotion. Look at the child's emotions. Is the child stable in emotions? Is there anything affecting the child? Because if you are caring, you become so conscious of what you do and what you say. Are we there? The people who are caring, if you care for someone, you are so conscious of what you say, not to hurt the person, but rather to direct the person the right path. You see? That's why caring for a child is one responsibility that is involved in what? In parenting a child. Providing is another thing. You know, some people provide, they don't care whether the child is feeling well emotionally. This is where will come in sometimes. Men will miss we miss our dear child because we do not care much as much. Children, dear child always have challenge. I will talk about it. I've had experience of training a dear child, and I'm going to tell you. Providing is one of them. You must provide for that child. There's a brother, a friend told me, my child has finished WAEC and passed. She has maintained her gain. The bargain is you must pass WAEC, get admission, and I'll get you a phone. That was a bargain he had with the child. Now, immediately the child got admission, he spent 100,000 naira to get a good one for the child. Now, the child now knows somebody here for her, somebody is providing for her. It's also going to limit the eye of the child looking what? Outside. You provide for her. People go to the extent to know the kind of underwear their daughter wear. Yes. You know what kind of underwear a child wear? You are the one even direct the child. Even when the woman is not there, because some women lack this understanding that you are the one to first of all prepare the child to understand. One, another thing involve instructing the child. Involve what? Instructing the what? Child. Giving the child instructions is important. Some parents who does not give instructions, you only go do this. Sit down, instruct a child on what to do and what not to what do. Instruct the child. I want to talk about instructing. It involves directing the child. Directing the child on what to do. It involves molding the child. Mold the child the way you want the child to what? To go. You mold the attitude, mold the character. However, when we go to molding, a lot of things involve in molding a child to become a child. We are not talking about just training a child, we're talking about training a total one child. A child who is morally sound, a child who is spiritually grounded, a child who has career, who has skill in his life. You know, time has come when we'll begin to talk about only thus says the Lord without acting for our children to see. When you come to molding, it starts from you, your attitude, your reaction to their mother at home. How do you react to the mother? Do you talk to the mother carelessly? The children see you. Molding involves you living an exemplary life. If you want a child to be a reader, you start reading. I always tell people, by 4 o'clock Jesus is up. Not because he started it. It's because it was a notion I put in what? In him. It becomes a part and parcel of the family. That by social time, you have to wake up and open your book and start what? Reading. You want your child to be reading, and you are not setting up example for a child to read. All you know is to tell a child, eat fufu. You have done your assignment, or you do not even bring the assignment and check the assignment with the what? The child. Yes, not everybody is educated. Does not mean that you that is not educated cannot even make a child to be what? You can make a child to be educated. You make a child to love reading. You mold the child. How do you want your child to be greeting? Do you greet very well? You want a child to learn how to greet by teaching the child how to what? Greet. Molding the child. Another thing also, building up the child. It's involved building up the child. You are starting from a scratch. A child who is a tabula rasa, something is not written in the heart of the child. You begin to write something inside the heart of the child. Now, what are you writing in the heart of the child matters. You know, most times we build a child to become people who know how to keep malice, because that is what you have written in the heart of the world. The child. It is a child who the conscience is formed in the home. He did not learn it from anywhere. He's learning it from the what? The home. When he have learned it from the home, how can you think the child will change it? Because he grew up to see it as a part of what? Normal life. That's why you become so conscious of what you write in the heart of the child. You must be conscious of what you write in the heart of the child. What do you write in the heart of that child? What do you put in the heart of the child? That's what built up a child. You know, we keep saying that what kind of book a child reads determines what the child can end up being tomorrow. Are you aware that books children read at an early age has a greater impact in their life? Today, some of us who speak the way we speak, you know, our discourses we did in life influences whatever we do. Are you aware? Yes. Because we read those, he has built up, it has become our life. When we were in school, we are told that teachers measure food with what? Ruler, is it? Yeah. Now, why? Because in that mentality of saving, to make sure they plan themselves against what? Tomorrow. For them not to finish their little what? Money they are receiving. That is what. Now, some children who were brought up by those parents know how to what? Manage. Are you aware? Because that is the component that have been put in what? In them. Those children grow up from that level. The growth of a child is in fourfold, as recorded in the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 40. The growth of child is in fourfold. I want us to open Luke chapter 2, verse 40.
Luke 2, verse 40. And the child grew and became strong, filled with wisdom, and the favor of God was upon him.
Okay. Now, one, wisdom is an aspect of the growth of a child which has to do with emotions. Which has to do with a child what? Emotions. I don't know the kind of emotion I'm building of a child. You must learn to nurture child's emotion. Some of us who want to beat our children will beat them out of. You are beating a child you love. You beat it like you are beating an adult with anger. You beat them, you throw them, boom. You are not doing, you are hampering that child's emotions by your own emotion. Though I'm going to talk about the carrot method, carrot and stick method. I'm going to mention it. You must, child's emotion is important. A child's emotion needs to be understood. You need to understand the temperament of your child. And you now know how to nurture that child based on the child's temperament. I want to say this here. If you have two children, it is wrong to compare. It is wrong to what? Don't be comparison. We that teach in school, let me tell you, even if I have 100 students, I teach them equally. The one that is the best, you mark, you know this one is the best. You don't make him to be special in the class that is better than others, even though he might be better. Some of us teachers today will become so emotional and look at those who are good, and that's the only people who ask questions. It is a wrong when it comes to teaching directly. It is. Teaching told us that the same child, you don't even pay much attention to that one which is very good. You pay attention to the lesser one. The reason is what? That you want to bring them up. And you try as well not to bring this one also down. As much. You don't treat this one as well and begin to go, this is the best. No, you do not do that. You don't do comparison. Everybody is coming from different ability. And you need to see them from that perspective. The same thing at home, that even if I have two children, they cannot behave alike. I love you said back preaching principle for certainty principle. Some of you do physics. You said back say that you cannot measure the position of an electron and the momentum at the same time. It is not possible. Therefore, there's no way two electrons have the same quantum number. They are in the same energy level, but their quantum number or spin or azimuthal magnetic must differ. They must not have what? The same. The same thing applicable to a child coming from the same womb. They cannot behave the same way. Therefore, you going to compare them, putting them in emotional line, no matter how they push you, don't use comparison. Something happened in my house. My son will always call Chiso, hey, my brother is calculator. My brother is what? Calculator. That is what he calls him. He identified with him. And I said, okay, learn from him. You are special on your own. And he is doing very great on his own. I cannot, this one is better. It's not. This one is coming from his own level of ability. This one is coming from his own level of what? Because that is where this one is better than this one as well. But don't make it to put it to them for them to begin to look down on anyone at all. It must be, you must understand emotion of your child. All of them must not have the same emotions. You treat them from the level where they are coming from. You know, parents, we are pushed some time to do comparison because of the way children react to us. Learn to how to walk. Right. I paid the bill hospital. You know what it means to go to train a child to learn how to cry. When the child begins to cry, will you blame the child? You pay for the hospital one. That was my first 2 months. He cried. Am I not the one that paid the hospital one? I paid it. When his brother came, I didn't pay hospital for him to learn how to cry. And that one did not cry like his one. This is everyone come with different challenges from conception. The same grace. This will have to do understanding the social environment. You must expose a child to understand his or her what? Social world environment. Because one of the problems we have today, even the choice of course we are having, our children are choosing is because they did not even understand the social environment they find themselves. I was telling somebody, you are not good in biology, you are not good in physics, you are not good in chemistry, and you are coming from a home where the money is not there for them to even bribe the lecturers to help you to pass. Is it? You say you want to go and study men such. Why? I'm coming to this. Someone say you want to study. If you don't balance one chemical equation, and you're picking things that need you to balance one, you must not force the child to choose, but you must train the child to understand the word, the social environment. Understanding that social environment is very key in the growth of a child. Nigeria is a terrible place we have found ourselves. It's a very good country, blessed with all economy, but the management become terrible. Nigeria itself is terrible, but the problem is what? Those who are managing the economy of the country are the problem, because we are blessed with a lot of things. I knew when I was growing up in Omo, they don't take light. Anything they will take light, there will be Ajib who apologize for taking that word. And if they took that life, in the next 15-20 minutes, the light will work. Anytime they take light will come out, all of us sit down, we are waiting for the light. Immediately I will go inside. When I grew up in Omo. But today, I go Omo, they say 1 week, no lights. They are enjoying it. Because before, if you take like an Ajib in Omo, youth will come out and march to the office where they can work. But this day it has become a normal thing in Omo. Take like 1 week, 2 weeks. That is the environment we found ourselves. And when a child is born, they say, oh, why was that boy in Nigeria? We are favored. Are we there? Every child born in Nigeria is a strong child. We must understand that social environment. Expose the child to understand this our social environment. That this strength will give us, however, because of where we found ourselves, we want to exclude them from having relationship with their friends and the brother. I'm not helping that child when the child grew. There's a time it becomes a problem. I suffered it and I wouldn't want any child around me to suffer it. I grew up to be locked up. I locked up, my father will lock me up in the whole church building. Even if he traveled, the door will lock up. Because I was born as a son of a minister. I've always lived in the church environment. But when we grow up at the start, we begin to sneak out. We begin to what? Sneak out. Which means, let expose the children little, take them out some time. Let them have time and play. Are we there? It's a little exercise. Profit what? Little. Yes. It's okay for children in training. Please let us not always keep them inside. It's not by the load. Sometimes taking a child out and say, oh, this is part of the training. You must not spend money before you take a child out. Will you spend money to take children to go to the field where they are playing football? Stand there, watch the environment. Let them understand where they are. They can be from. That's what is spirit. The child grows in a strong spirit. Now, we're looking at a strong spirit we are going is that this has to do with the child's talent. The child's what? Talent. There is gift in every child. Where we fail, parents sometimes will force our children to study courses who do not exploit their careers. When we do not exploit children's career, we need to understand those children's career and expose them in choice of career. Allow them to make their choices. As the one the parents force a child, my child must do science, and this child must do science. A child must do science, and you are aware that the child will not get 67. A child must do what? You must not force a child. Understand the talent of the child. Then you lead the child in the right career. Status. You say it grows status. And what is that status? Mental and the physical health of a child. Mental health and physical health of what? A child. Let me talk about a little mental health. Now, what mental health? Do you know that we expose the children to have issues with the mental? We will keep telling them, this person do this. This person do all this. This person do all this. If you see this house, don't go to this house. Brother, if you quarrel, leave the children out of your world. Quarrel sometime. Leave them out of your quarrel. One thing about that is that even if he has with his brothers in the village, it doesn't concern me. It's his brothers, is it? You can't tell me that because, oh, you have issue with your brother, settle with your brother. Let us leave our children out of it. Don't create mental issues with children. What they don't supposed to have, that doesn't supposed to bother them. Husband and wife will have issue, they put their children into it. You and your wife is quarreling. What concerns the children with your quarrel and your husband? Quarrel your quarrel and leave the children out of the world. And that with the child which come from a diverse home, when you are teaching an intelligent child, you feel like he has a future. Because the child was not healthy. Mentally is not prepared. Because something had stopped that child. The child that was doing well started what? Going down. I engage with the child. When I engage in discussion with the child, I understood where we were coming from. The parents were invited as a state. Give the child a care. Show the child love. You show the child love. Keep interacting with the child. Keep your quarrel out of this world. The children. And when they begin to apply some things, the children pick up again. Please be careful of the mental health of their children. Physical health matters also. Don't play poverty is concerned when you say child feel hot. Some of us don't even talk about deworming. Let me talk about that. One of the issues we have is that most of us don't deworm our children. 3 months you don't deworm a child. Carry the woman begin to grow. When the stomach begin to bite the child, you say, oh, bro. Maximum of 3 months deworm a child. Is it? If God permits you, always have a checkup on the children. Look at their health. What kind of food are they eating? Give them some good food. Cook fresh vegetables for the children. It must not be over or fish. Bread, do you understand? Take drink morning water every morning. Water help to balance the brain of a child, a growing child. You see, a vegetable is important for the brain development. If God bless you, but this, what is a supplement for the children to balance them? Why some children will suffer from this is that they do not build their immune system. A child's health is important. Don't just train a child one provide shock. You only interested giving carbohydrate. We eat gari. The most we eat in Nigeria is carbohydrate. You know, gari, rice, yam. To balance it, we use vegetable soup. If you cook a sound vegetable soup, put pomo. Somebody cook pomo, he say he has put meat in the food. What is it meat? Pomo is not meat. Buy periwinkle is better than what? Pomo. Buy crayfish, cook crayfish. Don't use maggi. Maggi is no longer for health. If you are the one who cook maggi, reduce a set of what? Use more of crayfish. I know crayfish is costly. It's costly. Try children is what? You have them. You have brought them into this life. Cook food for them. Blend mango. Blend banana. Blend all these things. When there's odara, better for the children to live the world. Odara. These are things that will help their health to be balanced. You train a child, you think it's only providing. No. Think of the children's health. Mental health. Now let me talk about mental health. What kind of film do they watch at home? I want to say cartoon is not healthy for children these days. Cartoon. I know we expose our children to cartoon. But when I sit down to study and listen to some of the language used in cartoon, it is not healthy for our children. Most of the bad things children learn sometimes is what? Cartoon. If you must, a child must watch a cartoon, parents sit down and watch the cartoon without what? Child. Learn the cartoon. You first of all study the cartoon you are giving your child. Watch it first. Before you allow your children to watch what? It is affecting their mental health. What do you mean? And what kind of discussion do your children engage in with their friends? That's why it's good to know the school, to know who is the teacher of the child in the class. It's good to know who are your children's what? Friends. For you to know the kind of discussion they are involved in. Training of a child is not just sending the child in school. Get to know the teacher of your child. Get to be a friend of your children's teacher. Have their number, sometimes communicate with them. Communicate with them. They chat with you and tell you. Sometimes they were I was told by a teacher, he said, everything he cries. Because of that, if somebody report, the woman will flog Chisel. Because of what? He wants him to stand on his word. I told him push this gates. Because if they beat him one, he beat them what? Two. You see that thing they created in his head. Now we are trying to see a way to remove it. Because you must be careful. It becomes an issue. That's why you must. What information you give your children? Hey, they beat him back, beat him back. Brother, you may think you are helping the child at that time, but you are putting his stubbornness in the child of that one. The child. When the child will begin to exhibit that attitude, are you ready to bear the consequences? Remember when we are learning parenting, consequences are what? Benefits. Operating that school. Is that school disciplined? If a school is not disciplined, please be careful of putting the child in such school. You must know the program the school are running, more especially when the children are still young, primary school. Know the program they are running. Know the disciplinary measure they take when a child is misbehaving. When they come bullying, how do they handle cases? You know, people are not bullying only by the people can bully with words. How do they handle? You can call a child fool in my school now, presently. You know you will punish by calling your fellow class one fool. You see, conscious about it. You must, those things follow you up. When your child come back home and say, get out, ask the child, where did you learn what? Learn it from. Trace him back and spark. If he's in school, say, my son is using this foul language. I'm not comfortable with one. Bring it to the notice of the school. Unless they are not disciplined, if they are disciplined, they will be focused. So parents are paying attention to this foul language. They will be so conscious of using it. If you go to school whereby they blow grammar, broke it anyhow, come get there. But that school is not healthy for your child. I know some of us don't pay attention to this. We are talking about training a total child, not a child. Because we can be doing here, they spend more time in the school than you. The time they spend at home, is it true? 8 to 2 o'clock. When they come back by 3, you might not home. You even have time to them. You come by 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, 7, 8, they are gone into what? To sleep. They spend more time in the school, which is what they learn in the school is important for you to know. There was the book, Welcome in Junior Waye. I saw that book, I said, why would they bring such book into Junior Waye? If I have my way, my son will not read that book. It's a novel. What is a World Virgin Wedding? Remember that book? I am not comfortable to be read in junior secondary school. What you are teaching a pregnant virgin? What will you want the child to want? What is the benefit? And I don't know where those who are putting policy bring in those books. Why we have a lot of books which can educate children and know how to read and build their moral level and their brain that will cause much harm. You must also be ready. What kind of book do my children read? Some of you that send their children to lesson, what kind of lesson? Who is their lesson teacher? A lesson teacher that comes to the high that always use abusive words is not a good lesson teacher. But a lesson teacher is supposed to be a mentor, supposed to be a tutor, supposed to be a disciplinary who carry people what? Along. Brethren, I want you to get this. I tell you that we are training ourselves. We want to have results. That when our children come out like this, people see better what? Results. And mother, when you are cracking your joke, check if your children are there and know the kind of joke the children are there. Because of the mental health of the children. You must be careful. You know, we start the children at the age of 3. Some of you always undress before your children. When the children get 3 years, you're a woman, your child is a woman, please be cautious. Don't undress before your child again. Did you hear what I said? No. One day, the mother was undressing before the child. The child called, hey, see mommy bum bum, see mommy bum bum. Begin. He has had a bum bum somewhere. He now see the picture. He want to touch it to agree What has happened? What? The lady got so conscious about it. I think it was less than 3 years. Less than 3 years. You don't do that. You say, I want to teach the child. No, it's not. It's not mental healthy for the what? The child. Let me also talk about mental. There are segregation you make when the child begin to say this is a boy, this is a girl. At any stage, you register something in the mind of a child, which is it growing. Body the child begin to think of what the child was not supposed to want. Someone say, sex education, there are time for sex education. Some of you who teach sex education at the early stage, you are not helping that child. There's a time to teach sex education. Mommy did education, we have a lot of people who did education. They will tell you, time to teach sex education, we have the right word, time. Even when you go to JS1, sex education, physical education, there are things they teach the children, they don't teach them in detail till they get to JS1. When they start to teach them puberty, those who do the education plan, there are age of consumption, and when I get to that age of consumption, and when you are teaching that child, he will understand from the angle where you're coming from. Not when the child is 2, 3, you start teaching them, this is this, this is this, this is called this. Let the child keep calling you till you get to the child of level of the right name. Don't start forcing it into the child. I want my child to know people who abuse education are the people who cause much problem in training of children. I'm coming from the professional angle. I am a trained teacher by profession. Because when I watch a lot happen online, how they are killing children in the name of parenting these days. Let me go to another thing. There's something we do, mental health of a child, that a child in the church know a brother as a brother. You begin to introduce a brother, don't call him brother, call him Mr. Brother, what are you telling the child? A brother, he said, no, it's not good to call him brother. Who tells the child does not know he's not his biological brother? What are you teaching that child? What are you developing? Disrespect. There are people in this place that don't call me minister. I don't say they should call me you, because it's not my given. It's not. If they die, brother, what you talk to the child? You have lost something in the life of that child. Papa Chiso, is it what you're supposed to call? It's my name, Papa Chiso. It's wrong. The next you tell me his name is Mr. Isaac. You think you are teaching the child right thing at that stage. A stage come when in my school, where I was in school, I taught in GRO, we are told, Minister, will this everybody come? Mr. Isaac, this is a social environment, understand? Even in the midst of that, there are parents that come, I will try to call my uncle. That it shows respect. I said, the school have adopted better. They asked Mr. Isaac, allow my guy to call you what? Uncle Isaac. That is the woman demanding for it. She's a lawyer by profession. And she told me the reason. I want my child to learn to be respectful. We are looking at mental health. A child is less than 7 years. You begin to introduce some certain things to children that you are doing parenting. From where angle? From which biblical point are you learning it from? Like I said, every parent must pay attention to this fold of child's growth. You must pay attention to the emotions. You must pay attention to the social understanding. You must pay attention to the child's career development. You must pay attention to the mental and physical health. These are the things you pay attention. and the children is growing up. Maybe, why am I saying this? Let me go back to the what? Career. These days, we start training the children early. We start training the children what? Understand the psychomotor of the child. What can the child handle very well? From home, don't wait for the school to tell you. From 3-4 years, let a child who can manipulate computer start manipulating what? Computer. A child who can draw, let the child learn how to what? Draw. Expose them to start doing those things. Those skills help their brain in developing their brain more. That's why it's, in early stage, if you go out there, Nigeria, not this Nigeria. I have a friend who, after studying 22 courses, she traveled SS1. She's doing subjects. An aspect of mathematics is algebra. That's what he did this time. Not all the whole mathematics, all the whole thing and broke. We want to teach the child. Nigerian method of learning is good for us, but it makes us strong. But those out there, they make them, they specialize early. Understand the skill of a child. But at Tuesday, we are helping our child from early stage that you teach a child skill even as the child is growing up. Because at the early stage, they master very fast. Not at this my old age. You now ask me to go back to learn how to paint. Can I paint? It becomes so difficult at this age to learn how. But at this stage, when you understand what the child can do with his hand, please, during holiday, engage them. Not did you hear what I say? Yes. During holiday, let him not be book. Expose the children to some skills, which also is part of what they grade for. What is their passion? Start it early. Today in Nigeria, what we need now is skill combined with certificate. Are you aware that certificate sometimes might not pay, skill will work? I have a lawyer friend. She studied law, did well, but I don't think she has practiced law one day. She have a fashion firm company where people work for her. She went in and studied. I have a friend who just resigned from Senior Bank, a manager of Senior Bank. I teach the child now. Presently, I take the child mathematics. She has worked a very wonderful firm. I said, yes, I said, this is what I love most. Because I learned it when I was in school. These are the things. Expose children to some skills at an early stage. Okay. Let me point out some method of parenting. Have carrot method of parenting. What is this carrot method? Whatever a child needs, you don't care. I need biscuit, or you give the child biscuit. It's not bad. I want to go, I need 10,000, mommy, you give the child this carrot. What the child needs to what? Provide for the what? The child. I know there are patients these days because we are trying, even as much as trying to stop the child's emotions, you must also be careful of the method you are using. Not every time a child cries for biscuit, give the child what? When the child cries for biscuit, leave biscuit, do garri. Sometimes the child, you are going to eat what? The carrot method, you need biscuit, I'll give you biscuit. Whatever a child need, you need. And when a child comes to complain about, these are method of carrot, or when a child complain about his teacher, he don't even investigate what really happened. My child cannot lie. That is what you are. You go to school to fight. But let me advise you, no matter what happened to your child, never you ever abuse the teacher child before your child. You hear what I mean? Abuse the teacher of your child before your child. The child have lost that respect for the word. And when the child loses respect for the teacher, it is now one-sided. and you begin to suffer it when time comes. If you must confront a teacher, don't let your child what? Know about it. Go and say, oh, I heard you do this, I heard you do this. What really happened? What really happened? I think this is okay. Listen to the teacher. Don't come with confirmation, my child. Listen to the teacher and analyze it. Don't come with a child. That does not mean that a child does not stand being manipulated. Children manipulate their parents. Are you aware that children manipulate their parents? I'm a teacher. They manipulate their parents sometimes. This because they are trying to cover their work. Yes. They manipulate. You want to carry that way, swallow, sink. Woo. As much as possible. Please, not every that request provide for that. Provide everything. Sometimes, deny the child. Denial is also a method of training. Did you hear me? The child will learn to understand. Man, taking it together. Okay, do you understand what I say? Deny the child sometimes. Don't always what? Provide everything the child wants. Listen to the child also. Advise the child when you listen. Carrot will always listen and sing. Oh, is it what happened? Okay, I've heard you. I'm going to do it. Don't use that word before your word. Your child. If the child is wrong, dialogue with the word. The teacher. Don't quarrel with the teacher. Don't go. You might not go that moment it's hot. Give it a time. I get it. When you have lasted some time. If you go the way it is, you might also become emotional about it. When you have give you time, you can go and discuss the matter with your word. Another one is stick. What is stick? Stick method is what? Always being hard on the child. Even though we say street, you don't always be hard on your word. So sometimes you beat, sometimes you rule. There are some people they don't use care, but they are only shouting every time, shout on top of their voice. Sometimes when you discuss, when you shout, discuss. Learn to discuss with children on issues of this plate. The way you wash plate is like this. If you wash it this way, I get it. It will be neat this way. The way they do it, you just say, okay, you do it this way. You are discussing with the child and you are demonstrating. You see the child is learning faster. No, why did you not put it here? You come with questions. And you don't want the child to answer. I am you are the one who came up with questions. You don't want the child to answer the question. Why don't you learn discussion? How to discuss these things? Some time. Discuss on flog some time. Don't flog all the time. Flogging is part of training. And learn how to flog. Some people flog their children like if they are flogging their enemy. You flog the child and the child will have wound everywhere. No. However, let the child know that when you carry care, you mean the matter. I get it. Carry care, show the child. You see this thing I brought out today? I want to show you that that thing you did yesterday was what? You flog the child in the palms. If you flog the child in the back, flog the child in the buttocks. Are we here? It's your child. I don't say you cannot flog your child anyhow you want. Because anger, you might create a terrible mark in the life of the world. Remember that if you blind the child and kill the child, the government can come after you. It's your child though. We are talking about Nigeria. If you know outside this country, if you try it and the child cry, they will come and take the child away from you. And the child say, my mom will always punish me. If the child reports that one, my mom will always punish me. Out there, which is not Nigeria, are you aware that we're looking at their child somewhere and they are telling their child for you? You lost control of your child. Even though Nigeria now, we are still not really, because we don't have a good policy in child training in this country does not mean that you shouldn't apply policy on your own. Apply policy. I'm not saying you should not flog. I said apply caution in flogging your own. Let them not be stiff in flogging. I said when you flog a child, even when you're flogging a child, I've seen a woman, when the husband is beating that woman, she starts instead of the woman to run away, you see the woman start what? It is coming from where she is coming from. The father had beat the woman to the extent and all her body is used to what? Beating. Instead of feeling and being afraid when you are beating her, it's like you are doing the usual thing that when you beat her, she will not be. You know, have you not seen it when you are beating the child? Instead of crying. And those days, there's a school where I taught in as a PTA teacher in technical school. When I'm flogging a child, when you flog, though they fear me these days. Those days that when you are jumping window with those summer children, when you jump with, I jump window with you, and I can run. And when you get one and flogging them, when you're flogging them 12, you are wasting your time. Your hand is paying you. You are the one who is feeling the pain. Those you are flogging is what? You will touch. Nothing is inside. Nothing is what? My father told me when he was in school, there was a time he was flogging when he was in normal of teaching. Those days, the chairman of local government in Oba, he flogged him to the extent the man tied and put in his boot account because they were afraid of my father to flog. My father died, he flogged, boom! They did not enter. He flogged, boom! They now put her and bring her back. We should not flog our children to the extent to give them that option to become stiff in cane. Are we there? Flog their children with caution. Flog them. Talk to them. Sometimes caution makes more sense than flog in some cases. Like some of us who do not have patience to teach our children. When you teach a child is not, hey, why don't you get it? Oh brother, if you don't have patience to teach, employ a teacher to teach that child for you. But if you learn to teach your child with understand, if the child fails, it's possible. Remember you failed those times when you were going to school. Some of us will get A. When we do not even get up 50. Like, those days you fail. You want your child to do the best does not mean that the child failed. Failure in exam is part of learning. Are you aware? Yes. If a child will get 100 in all subjects, a child now there's no need to read again, is it not? Let the child fail one thing, you will see, okay, it seems I have not understood this one. You at that time when you teach it, teach with patience. Let them make mistake, correct them. Correct them. Don't spit all the time. Don't scare your child away. Instead of your child to carry an assignment to come and tell you, say, Mommy, have you done? Yes, ma, I've done it. Because you knew that you can beat him or her because of that word assignment. Learn this. I'm not saying you should not beat. I'm not saying you should not be strict. But I am saying, in you being strict, in you punishing of your child, learn to discuss with your word. Children, let them be your friends. Some of us have scared the children away. They don't even are afraid of discussing with us. More than when they come to guide their child. You must learn. Boys are hard though. Boys are what? They can use their mind not to tell you. But when you get the language to use, they will tell you as well. Your daughter understand the language. Show concern of her feelings. When the child has gotten to 13, those children, when the girl has gotten to 13, 14, Father, make them more, bring them more closer to you. Let them be friends. I mean, discuss things with them. Discuss things with them. Let me surprise you people. You will be surprised that when one BK came and asked to get the art, they said, no, I won't tell my father. Whatever my father say, you want. Can you see shots? There are discussions the way you can get a boy is asking her out. He's telling you that you see this boy is telling me this, and you now give the child a way to what? Maneuver such what? Things. You cannot be far from child and get this information. You must be part of a child. He must be involved. Now, okay, another method is carrot and stick. Apply the method together. Don't apply one. I get it. You can punish. You can discuss. These three methods. Now, I want to read Proverbs chapter 6, verse 20 to 23. In strength of a child, always set principle. Let principle be stated. Let them know your principle. Proverbs chapter 6. 20 from 20.
From 20 to 20. My son, keep your father's commandments and forsake not your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart always. Tie them about your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. And when you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk to you. For the commandment and the teaching is a light. And the reproofs of disciplines are the way of life.
Thank you. Hold on. You see, parents set principle. Let their principle be known by a what? Children. Define their principle. Let their principle be definite. Don't set an indefinite principle. Don't do this without having a caution attached to it. If you come back late, this. The children will know when is the late in the house. It's supposed to be 6:30 p.m. Everybody should be inside the house. No matter where you are going, no matter who you are visiting, from social age, 11, 12, 13, I know you are come of age. You might step out, but 6:30 you must be in what? State the principle. Oh, you answered call by so time 8 p.m. You that is not doing a business with call, you don't have any business. At this your age, what are you doing call by 8 p.m.? Tell the person I want to call you before around 8, call me tomorrow. Those principles, let their children understand this principle at home. Any person who finish eating his food must carry his plate and put in the what? Basket. If I see you drop plate anyhow, you will be punished for dropping your plate. Even though you say, who drop this plate today? I am the one. Don't drop it what? The person drop. Who drop this plate again? Don't drop this plate again. If I see this plate, I will punish you for it. Who drop this plate? I have to kneel down for dropping this plate here again. I told you. After some minutes, kneeling down is a corporal punishment. It's enough to flog you. If you want to kneel down, kneel down. If you want to flog, flog. I don't say it's bad to put two of them, but do not be too hard for your children not to see you as one who's scared. You know, there's a way you treat their children can see you as what? Our mother is what? Father is what? Don't let their children to define you as a wicked person. When you need a child down, after 2-3 minutes, if I see you another day, I will flog you these strokes of cane. Remember what you say. Don't flog beyond 3, less than 3. Because I made a promise. When you say the child take the plate and the child drop the plate that day, if the child mistakenly drop that, they flog the child that 3 strokes. You see, By so doing consciously, it will become part of them in the house. Because principle have been stated. State your principle and let your children see the principle. If possible, write them out. I've gone for a lesson whereby in the library of the children, reading time is stated. What I want to do is stated. What to do is stated. I've gone to a lesson whereby a teacher cannot come before you when you are not in the library. The children will already be in the library and wait for you. As long as the teacher have entered, if you are eating, you stop that food. If you are doing any, you stop that thing till the teacher leave. And you don't stand from your table to come to somewhere else. Meet you. You take permission. I want to go and win. You go straight and win and come back. If the teacher in any way report you to your parents, the parents, they will punish that child. You see, very people who are disciplined and they are conscious with time. When is their sleeping time? 8 p.m. Whatever you are doing is shut down. At 8 p.m. you go to sleep. You know, by 3:30 you are waking up for reading, for one reading before you go to school. It is stated, and everybody in the house have become used to it. Friend, you must state your principle. Let your principle be pronounced, and let your children understand the principle at home. Because they cannot tie this commandment in their words, have not stated it out. Some of us just come to hear other people say, practice. Not everything that work in a house, that work in B house. State your principle. Let the children see the principle. If Sunday is service, every one of us by 8 o'clock, you must have been what? Ready. It becomes a principle that binds in the house. By 8 o'clock, everybody is at the door. Whoever is not at the door at 8 o'clock will be punished. If you do 3 times and they should see it as something that's static in the home, that you who is telling them do not finish by 10 o'clock. You can't take a child finish by 8 o'clock when you is finishing by 8:30. Will the principal work? Children read. I've not seen one day carry a Bible to open. Oh, do you know that children learn faster by seeing you do it? Yeah, I'm just taking. Remember what I'm looking at? I'm just of this introduction before we go into the consequences and then the what. We want to have a perfect home. We want to have a perfect church, is it? Where did it start from? Oh, if all of us understand what to do at the right time, everything will go. When you go to church, a principle at home is that when you go to church, you do not make noise. Open your Bible, read. One of the house are reading, read the Bible. Pay attention to teachers who are teaching you. Sit into the head, and the children will also begin to practice. You know what happened? You see, you have been able to inculcate something in the life of a child, it becomes part of them as much as possible. I've said a lot of them. I know that somebody will. Let me final today. Involvement of parents in children's life. Involvement of parents in children's life. Fathers, let me start from you. Some of us, when our wife is conceived, we now see our wife as it starts from here. Wake up, oh, listen to your wife here in the home call. Oh, let me hear my baby. It has a way to synchronize with that baby in the womb. It has a way to synchronize with that baby what? In the womb. level. Buy good food for your wife at the time she conceived. This say your baby is eating as well. Is it true? Part of the conception process. When your wife wake up in the morning, in the night, oh, my wife so, oh, how is it happening? Your wife so, oh, sorry, be part of the West End. If they tell me it's sunny, part of feel they show concern about the world, the West End. Oh, the baby is sunny. Oh, baby, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. Be part of the conceptual process. That is where we start from. Some of this issue, you know, when the child is 2, 3, I don't carry a baby from 1 to 2, 3. I find it difficult to carry a baby that level. I fear. Not that I don't want to carry it. I don't know how to carry it. You see me carry, I will not to break the baby neck because I like to carry the baby and the baby stand. I hold him like this. When the child is born, learn to carry the baby as well. Learn to be bad. If possible, learn. Me, I don't know how to bathe the child. Learn to bathe your children as well. Are we here? Start bathing the world, children. Start bathing them. Learn to feed them as well. These are being involvement. They have grown level of discussion, talking. I will tell you, when Chisholm started in where I was teaching, I was the principal of the school. 2 of us would trek. When we are going, if you see us discussing, it's like I'm discussing with what? Adults. We discuss. Everybody in the school, the way you discuss like adults. Discuss with their child at that early stage. When they sing song, learn the song of their children. Join them in the song sometime. Make a time. Play with them. Make a time. If it's football, play football what? With them. If it's playing Lido, play Lido with them. It's what? Play what with them. Be part of them. Make a time as they are growing. Because what are you doing? You are bringing them close to you, making them to see reason to believe you, making them to reason you have reduced, you have come to their level, and they will not be able to discuss with you. And when they start school, give them to always, you know, when the children, some parents, when children are telling them what happened, is, oh, no, don't scare them away. Pay more attention. Listen to them. In those discussions, they are saying that my friend said this in the school. This is the child name. You can know every child in the class name. You are not in the school, you know everybody's name in the class. Through you. Are you aware? Yes. But when you don't have time for them, you only provide. Go to your mother. Go to your mother. No, those things should not be part of it. Fathers, be part of your child growth. I know that we, the fathers, this is always our own part. We will fail more. Mothers have more time with these children. Is it? We also have mothers with their face they know self. With children, the face of their mother is like I don't know. Children are even scared to open up to tell them. If a child is scared of the mother, what is, you know, there's a problem. You must learn, even if someone provoke you outside, when you talk to your child, brighten your face. Brighten your face. Let the child feel at home. This we call bedtime. Sometimes mothers have time to read books for their children in the bedtime, is it? But why don't you make out time sometime? Have time. What do you want? That's why they give us kai alone. We are the cause of them giving us what? Kai alone. Because you don't have time for them. Read for them. Follow them to read. At that bedtime, read with chat with them, make sure you make them sleep. Open arms to hug your children. Let it become part of you in the house. That every child will hug. It's part. Let them hug you. Hug them. Again, peg them. Let them peg you. I will get it. There's this one I like. Remember their children's birthday. Fathers. You know what? How many of us used to remember it? I remember that when I was growing, my father don't forget 15 July. He's the first to call me. That 15 July, my father was the first to work. Sometimes, back from school, parents, check notes. Check their work. Their notes. Study your child's handwriting. Oh, this handwriting is well. Oh, I love, why did you get this course? Don't fail it well. Again. You become part of you and knowing what they are doing. What subject do you like? Why did you dislike it? It's part of. I will get it as much as possible. I will stop here today. We have a lot. What will come next week will not impact the consequences and benefit. I don't know. I may have said a lot because of your question. I may have said a lot, or you have a reactions, questions. Please, your question. We have one. Any other person? Two. We have two. Three. Okay. Please. Four. Okay. Brother, shoot. Please give me mic.
Good morning, brethren.
Good morning.
We thank you for your teaching. As a professional teacher, we love that. But as a parent, we observe that nowadays, most of the things, the bad things our children. And when you look at the child art of Nigeria, I think it does not even conform with some of the things you are telling us. Because parents spend few hours, but teachers spend almost. Let me give you one example. When I wanted to look for a school, I gave him the choice, which of these schools do you like? He said, guys, see this other school, most of their teachers smoke. And because of that, but I said, but the school is very close. No, I don't love because their teacher does what? Smoke. And when they're telling us, he did not tell us that, let us know that many of the things our children learn are from the school. Teachers. What happened in my compound is that 15 years old girl that we thought she was okay. We found out that she has been, is virgin. Not only that, she hooked up other men, and that she was living yours. And when we called her and talked with her, we discovered that it was from the school. And the teachers, they are aware. How do we manage these two things?
Okay, very well. Let me start by saying that I say before now, study the school your child wants to go into. You don't just put your child into school. Let me start by telling you, when my son started, there was a Water Spring. That is a school called Water Spring. Water Spring was a disciplinary school, very sound. They teach. I think they gave him one of the wonderful foundation he had. He moved to, what's the name of the other one? Rich Hope. Rich Hope has a very good sound, and the only thing that scared away when the money increased, I can't pay the money as of then, because if it's as of now, I would have been able to. What I did was, I went to Rich Hope, not just telling me Rich Hope. I went in and requested for the program they want. a run for early children, because there are schools that early child strength, but they don't know the program that involve in the child strength. I entered, I saw the second time, I saw everything, and know that these people have package for child's upbringing at that early stage. Remember, there are also limitations. That another limitation is knowledge. A parent who does not have the knowledge I have may not inquire. You see? Two, the money also involvement to also get a better program is another word thing. Also, I did that. When my son was in federal in the primary school, that's federal secondary school. Why did I remove him from federal secondary school? Why? Because the secondary school in federal is full of shop. The place I wanted him to go was the military school, the Navy school. But because of the involvement of bribe and everything, I do not have Abraham as a father in Navy school. That is what. But I came to my school and said, for now, teachers will have in school, in my school, are a little bit what? They have a fear of discipline. There are so, I am there. There are some consciousness which is involved in it. If it's learning, educational, but learning academic, I would have left in what? Federal. I pulled him for federal because at this stage, moral upbringing of this child is still important. Till you get to SS1, then I can say, okay, now I have brought you up to the level. You can be what? SS1 and still manage and be able, you have learned something from him. But the problem is that we do not exclude schools. There are schools whereby the teachers are bad. Teachers are doing something what? So what? Terrible. And that is why parents, your involvement here is to know the school. Are you aware when a child is promoted to a new class that you should know the form master? The policy, educational policy gave you that right. That you should know the child, your child's what? Master. If you know your child's form master, you cannot be having a conversation with the what? The form master regularly about your child's. And that's why we have open day. Some parents does not make use of open day. Why do we have open day? When you pay attention to your child, you go to school. School bring their own complaint about the child, what they have seen about the child. You bring up a complaint about what you have seen the child. School and the parents will not agree. What can we do to strike what? A balance. But what people make use of is going to school to accuse the school. In the open day. Open day is time for discussion. Yes, they spend more time with school than parents. We must not give that an excuse and allow our child to work, to lose our children. But what we must do, we must know the school, pay attention to the school, frequently. Sometimes, Monday, Tuesday, when you are not too busy, you can walk into your child's work. Walk into your child's school, you watch what they are learning. Because you want to know, you want to be involved in the training of your child. But if you leave it in the hand of the school will give you what they have. And what they have is going to take, is it? If they have a good product, you benefit from good product. If they have a bad product, you benefit from what? Bad product. Again, like brother says, sometimes listen to your children. Did you hear what I said? Children see things far because they are sometimes they're from the point of innocence. They can see something and tell us. Sometimes we want to argue them. Listen to them. When you listen to them, you can take a balance and do that. But that's all I can say for now, as soon as possible. Okay. The second person. Okay, sister. Let me hear.
Thank you very much. I involved in some of the things, shouting. I want to ask a question. Maybe I'm from a disciplinary home. You know my family is. My family is where I put my family. So probably I'm married a family that they don't discipline their children. They don't care. They don't care. They just train them. Let it be that they have already relative, anyhow you want to behave. They give you food. I married a family, I see myself married that kind of family. So when my children they are growing up, I use that same thing as they train me, and I want to train my children like that. That side, nothing is happening. When they try to do something wrong, you as a mother want to correct. Leave am is a begin. It's a very small child. Leave am, and the child is growing up with that kind of life. And you're looking at yourself. It's not giving you what you want. Then what do you do as a mother?
Okay.
And secondly, I have two. You see teenagers nowadays. You see some children, teenagers from 15 years old. I know I always have discussion with them compared to where I myself. I'm doing business with them. So sometimes I see children complaining. Provide everything for them, they make their not there for them. You see the child in the other angle, their character is not what it is. In short, when you see the child character as a girl child, you will ask, when you see them, you ask them, the children have involved themselves in many things, abortion at the age of 13, 14 years. So when you are asking, they say, since my mom, my dad is not there, nobody until when I come back, I go out. So in the situation, who do you blame? Is it the parent or her? When you call the mom, I call one. He says the teacher, she can take care of herself. Please, who do you blame for this?
All these are things we see. All these are things we see. Let's start from the first one. The truth is that husband and wife should have a discussion even before having a child. These are the things we do not do at the. What do you discuss at the early marriage time? What do you discuss in your courting when you are courting? These are the discussions you should have. How we move up our have a discussion with your husband. The way you want your child to grow, the way you want to train your child. Probably you do not have the discussion and you have to now. And you see the other way around, the husband is not paying attention as a father. Sister, have a discussion with your husband. But if you have a discussion and it's not working, do your own part. And as much as you're doing your part, also don't cross the line to cause quarrel between your husband. Are we there? Do your part. You can do more of the word talking than to shout. Because of where you're coming from. Because you might beat a child, the husband will pick offense beating the child. Because he did not understand where you're coming from. Because in one, I say you must have discussion with him. And if the discussion did not work, then you continue doing the part because it's your child. You must not allow it to spoil because the husband is not doing the work. Now, if beating may cause problems, do more of what? Discussion. I get it. Do more of discussion to avoid you having issue in your family as much as possible. As much. But you must apply wisdom. Apply what? Wisdom in all. And pray that God will also make the man see reason to understand what the angle you are from. A lot of us are victims of this what she's asking. However involved, it may be the side of the man, the side of the world, the woman, as much as. And there are some men who does not talk very fast. They take their time. Most times, women want to push them to start talking like them. And by so doing, the woman will make a comment. And you will not talk to them. Hey, any day you start making such comment before your children and raise their voice, you will kill your family. I'm the only one talking, you're the only one, you are not talking. Don't make such a comment. Let it be that you and your husband is doing outside the world. The children. Let them not see you as the only one. When you talk to your husband, let him be, your husband may be supportive from inside. He cannot talk, allow you to talk, and you punish. One day, visualize him, say, okay, I have a talk with these children. That talk will be a reinforcement to what you have been doing. And by so doing, you get it what? Right. If you find yourself the other way, you pray. God will give grace. Then you ask, who will we blame? I will tell you a story. When I was in school, I taught in Charlotte. I've had an encounter where children who have been molested by their house help. House help. There's a boy, a young girl who is a house help, molested child going to JS3. Look at how small it is. Are we there? And it has become a frequent act in the house. And the father and the mother is not what? Aware. this is happening. Who will we blame? Yes, the parents must be blamed. I get it. The parents must be what? They have allowed work and career to take them away from their children. But if they have time for their children, if it happened the first time, second time it will not happen. I get it. This, they would have inculcated this in the mind of the children. The children would have understood what is wrong and what is good. And something they can report in some area, and the mother begin to monitor and see how they can help. When the child have had an abortion, it's not something that happens in a day. It's not something that happens in 1 second. I get it. Which the father and the mother does not have. A child you have at home, I don't believe a care child can take in today. He stay 1 day, 2 days, and the mother will not identify. That the mother do not pay attention to the word. Because development of a child, when it's developing, any change in a child's body, you must know. I also want to tell you that if you try to say, when a woman starts sleeping for the first time, I don't need to tell you that I am no. You know. When a woman sleeps with a man that first day and come back in the house, if you are and your mother, you won't. Why won't you? These are the things training. You pay attention to your child's development. You pay attention to the step of your child. When your child is stepping out, when the step change, you know the step have what? What happened? Young lady, what is happening in your breast? This is not the nature of your what? You touch the breast. The breast with a mother, you say this is not your breast. What is happening? Which for a child to stay in your heart under your roof and abort, meaning that the father and the mother is not doing their work. The father need to be blamed. The mother need to be blamed. The parents need to be blamed. They cannot isolate themselves before God. They are fair in their responsibility. As much as possible. Talk of one saying, I am not a teenager, you can go. What kind of family are you coming from? What are you building? Wherever you go, if you as a parent can tell your children where you are going, that is where you start from. If you can tell your children where you are going, your children in turn will tell you where you are. But when you don't set an example of where you are going, you can wake up and go out like that. Children will also wake up and say what? That is true. Are you getting it? As parents, we have a lot to do. We can get it right. You understand? Okay? Which parents need to blame. Okay, let's go.
Good morning, brethren. Sir, thank you very much. I have two questions. My first question goes this way. At what time or what age do you wake up and try to start reading?
Okay.
That is my first question.
Let me start there because I may forget. Now, at what age do you wake up and try to start reading? I started from 4 years. I started from what? 4 years. Now, you start waking up a child, give the child, you start from 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Are we here? It might not also be 2 hours. You can wake up a child. I'm going to wake up a child 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, you want the child face up, you join the child. At that time, the child is learning to read. You read with the child 5 or 30. You have done for that day. You have started. As a me started as long as 4 years to teach a child how to wake up and walk. Read. We start from 30 minutes. We start from 30 minutes. We start with what? 1 hour. When the child grows to up to some age, 1 hour. When you read from 1 hour, you can read 1 hour 30 minutes. You can read what? 2 hours. Is that you can start even 3 years. You can start 4 years because 3 years I have started what? Assimilation. Is it? I say I started assimilation. You now tell the child, oh, wake him up. Because that time, every morning.
Okay, let me start with time. A sleeping time. sometimes here by 8 p.m. we still in our businesses. In that case, coming back, or if we are not in our best places, we will change. So by 8, 7 p.m., then what time do we get to the house to and then take the child to sleep? Because personally, like my daughter, if I don't sleep, this girl must be saying, "No, I want to wake." So if I'm working till 12 a.m., she's still awake. I know really well that it's not okay for her health. Even she will not force me to go and sleep. And once you lie down, sleep taking off, that job is painful. You can't do that job anymore. So in condition like this, how do you manage this? Then before you answer this, my last question is the library, setting up the library, like a home where we do not have such facilities.
Thank you. Okay, let me start the last one from the library. Library is not a very big thing to sit. You know, we think it's a building. There's a location in your home. It becomes a reading place for the child. Is it? Where the child have a reading book, where you have writing material, that place you call it what? The library. Are we there? A child now see, okay, this is where I always visit. You begin to buy small novel. We started G-Soap on is that a holiday, I start every holiday, there are something you will cover for that holiday. That is how I started. You understand? Now, if you make it like that, the child, later I go here, I'm going to what? Library. It becomes the library of the child. It becomes his studying room. It becomes his study location. It can be in your parlor. It can be in your bedroom. It can be even in your dining. You create a study place for a child. You start stocking books. The child says, okay, this is where I keep my books. This, you have created a library for a child. It must not be a building. That is in the aspect of a library. Now let me come for this sleeping time. Sister, whether it or not, the mental health of a child also depends on the time the child sleeps and wakes up. Did you hear what I said? The mental health of a child, because when the child sleeps wake up early, the child go to school and struggle to learn. Before the child wake become real, the day has gone half. Because a problem, he has lost the day already. Other things. Now the best thing to do for a child is that if you go back home, no matter what you're doing, if they know, she's home, if he's in the house 8 o'clock, he's going back to sleep. He sleep off. It has become so. Marvelous 9 o'clock, so that is good night. If you have not said good night, he will come to say good night 2-3 times. You go in and sleep. It is the law. By 9 o'clock, you are going in and what? Sleep. And then they come back from church, they are sleeping. Don't do it. Don't read. If they are reading, you start the next day. Because what I want to develop, when the child wake up the next day, it becomes he's ready for what? That day. But when the child go in by 12, by 5 o'clock, how many hours have the child rested? A reading brain, a one should rest for 8 hours. Good 8 hours to get the brain what? Ready for the next day. But if the child is awake, you are stressing that child's brain. Stressing the brain, you are not helping the child in development. That is why a child needs sleep to be able to work on it. Now, when it becomes used, the child becomes used to sleep on 9 o'clock. Then, because you need to, this is training. Because if you have not trained your hormone master that particular time, it will not work. It's a time when you train the hormone master that time, become the, and it takes at least 1 good month for it to become part of the child. When the child starts sleeping 9 o'clock, sister, you can see that you see yourself, you free yourself, you start doing your work and continue to your own. Anytime you sleep does not matter for us because you are grown. But the child sleep, they also matter, also needs health to survive. As much as have to do it. It's a work. You must be disciplined about it. You must be intentional about it to make sure this child goes in. 9 o'clock, what would the child be awake by 10 o'clock? If we stay here 8 o'clock, when he gets home, sleeping time. You go in, bed. If na food, you eat mind what? When they go back home, it is late for food. They are not eating again. It is what? Sleeping time. And they have become part of them. And when they sleep, they get themselves ready for what? Tomorrow. These are
their children. I now pay attention to my children. I now know what they are doing, where they are going and coming back. Then I understand what they are doing that is not bad and also caution them. But when it comes to children to pay my own attention, they fail. Do this, they reject it. I want to ask, is it the parents' fault that we don't train them well again? So this is the area that I'm.
all of us are laughing, but it's very a serious matter. So as long as you're under the roof of your father, it's old. Leave that old method. Now, old method when he use born you. You must know his own word, old method. You are under his roof. If your father say, I don't want to make you answer call by 9 o'clock in the house, a respectful child who want the children to respect them tomorrow have to shut that call down. Did you hear what I said? You can try to respect what? When you the same things are applicable that you must respect your word. Father.
Minister, including mother.
We are saying something serious.
What we make is the boys or the girls big as they are, they don't listen to their parents.
That is what we are talking about.
This is the problem.
That is a problem. You cannot call a child, come. Do you know what it means to live up to 60 years? It is not a day job. For a father to have trained you for you to come up to this level. It is right time, hard time. Listen to his word. Instruction. You cannot be a good child, you cannot be a Christian when you fail to listen to your father's instruction. You think it is old cargo. What is old cargo? For now, you are under the control of your what? Parents. You must listen to them. Be you a boy, be you a girl, listen to your word. It is the commandment of God. Let it be tied in your neck. Are we here? Why the parents understand their emotions as well. Understand the emotions while you work with them. Because they are growing children. There are some challenges that also affect them. Try to understand their challenges. What is their challenges? Look into it. Why you in turn respect your parents. Because there is no excuse you are going to give to God. That's why you disobey your word. You don't have excuse. Please, if you are involved, don't even dare do it. Because you are bringing curse upon your words. Because tomorrow you are going to have children, is it? And you want them to listen to every instruction you give. Therefore, in turn, respect your parents as long as you are living under their roof. Till you have grown to the extent to have your own family, you cannot begin to
phone call unless I call. When I call, sorry. Say this Nigeria will be there. Everyone. Okay, let me check properly. No phone call unless I call, and when I call, no words of consolation. Once they notice I'm doing well, I will only be hated when I do something for them or my siblings. As a son, what's my hope or what should I do?
This is a very important question. Let me say this. Communication is the key from both parties. Father, call your children. Children, call your what? Parents. It should not be one-sided. Now, if our children are out, I will fail calling them. They feel they are alone. But the flash they see from you, they call, they see you. Give them hope that somebody is remembering. That is one. Probably you find yourself in a video why you have a parent who understand the benefit of communication. One thing is that their parents may have not been educated, may have not understand what communication is all about, may not understand the benefit of calling you. That is one thing. Brother, you are asking this question to know, but I want to advise you. Let that don't discuss for you not to be a good son. Not to be a good what? Son. Them as much as God has what? Blessed. I know it might be bothering you. You might feel in the pain. But don't allow that to deter you. Do that which is right, which you know God has placed in your hand. But I will pray that your father, you can also have a discussion with your father. A discussion with your father. Look at what I feel. I expect you to at least once. I didn't say you should call me regularly. Once a while, call me to show that you care for me, to show that I'm your son, to show that you love me. You can have that discussion with your father. If you have the discussion and you continue, brother, I want to advise you. Please be a good son that you are. Don't stop of being a good son. That's what I would advise you. Please, I know it affects a lot of person. You will begin to take decision that is unnecessary. Don't take decisions because the word of God has said, do not be worried doing good. God will bless you and He give you children that will understand you, that will take care of you as you continue to do the right thing for your parents as well. In Jesus' name. Okay. Thank you.
Training of a child in the